I'm at 1410 Woodstock Drive in Oakwood, Ohio, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any root intrusion, structural issues, anything that may be of concern to the buyer. The access is the floor clean out here in the front of the basement. It's inside these little storage cabinets there that are built into the walls, you can see. That is the back of the house. Obviously, there's the stairs so you can tell where it is. There's also a stack right here, but this should go right past it and right underneath that same clean out there. And so this is cast iron. The only thing this is doing, though, is this is actually going to prevent us from doing the stuff under the house or inside the house. It is cast iron. And that's because this clean out here has like a Y in it, which forces me to go forward. This stuff that you're seeing there, that's just like rust from this clean out. The water doesn't come through this clean out. This is just specifically for access. So it's probably either been a long time since it's been accessed, or it has never been accessed. So I'm just pushing, leftover rust that's been in this line for forever. It'll just flow down when the water's used. But speaking of cast iron is tough to gauge how much life is left in it, just because it does rust, just because of the material, and so you never really know how much time is left in it. All you can kind of do is give a good, make sure that it's flowing correctly and that there are no big holes or whatever in it. What we're seeing so far, this looks like it's pretty wide open, pretty good pipe. There's not a whole lot of it right here because it goes out directly, but the stack that comes in is like right here next to the clean out. They basically come in right about the same spot, and so it's like right here, right where we're coming in, is where that drops in. And so what I'll do is, just to be sure here, because I am actually in that clean out right now, and then I'm going to try to make sure this is all rinsed off, because this tends to happen a lot. I'm going to pull the camera back out real quick and wipe it off. It's got some rust on it. The rust mixed with the water tends to create a really nasty, almost like charcoal that gets on the front of it, but it's wet charcoal. We'll go back in, and then I will reset the counter just so we know, how far out we are. Here we are. And so, based off of what I can see, this little bit of cast iron actually looks like it's in really good shape. So everything in the house flows through here, so usually if this is in good shape, the rest of it is. But one more thing I want to mention about cast iron is that you never want to use wet wipes. You don't want to use it in brand new lines, but especially in these old cast iron, they can very easily catch on the side of the pipe with the, how rough rust can be, and so it can catch on it pretty easily. And so they can cause backups and blockages because of that, because they do not break down like toilet paper. As much as they say on the wrapping that they are flushable, they should not be flushed. So now we have switched over into clay. This is a normal, for this age line. Clay is normal material. And clay is pretty good. You don't have to worry about it rusting or anything, obviously. And the only thing we really have is, it's real common to have some root intrusion. And that's because these pipe sections were installed, they were only about 3 feet in length. And so about every 3 feet we have another connection. And just gives a lot of opportunity for the packing in between these joints to break down over 100 years. But so far this line looks really good. And I keep keep trying to jump the camera there to keep the, because as I'm pushing, I'm pushing stuff up in front of the camera, and make sure we can see as clear as possible going through here. So I try to, sometimes it does a bit more harm than good. So you see the footage, I'm not actually going further when I do that. I'm like kind of jumping it back and forth a little bit to try to get water to splash up. But so far, this line is looking pretty good. What we'll see here is we'll get out to the main and we'll be able to rinse the camera off, and a lot of times you can see a lot clearer on the way back, just due to not pushing things up in front of the camera like this. So far the line looks really good. Just gotta make sure. There we go. Water right there. Clean it. Looks like we may be coming into pieces. Oh no, so this is a little belly. See, it's just enough to where, because there's water running, that it's barely covering the lens. This is not a problem, and you can see as I pull back, it should actually, without me pushing the camera forward and kind of plowing it up onto the camera, you still had visual. The camera lens is only about a ½ an inch off the bottom of the pipe, so there's not, it's, that's very, very little water. Okay, so we made it all the way to the main here. So what I'm going to try to do is just kind of get down in the main a little bit here. See if we can rinse off. There's usually a lot more water flow, cleaner water down in here because there's so much more of it. Got to make sure that we're nice and clean. We'll go ahead and we'll pull back. We should be able to see better on the way back, like I mentioned earlier. So. This is that spot that we might have to get the rinse the camera off again. There we go. So this was that area with, even with water running, you can see that I did not cover the lens on the way back. So with water running, that's not a belly there. See, there's a little bit, and that is with water running, so that normally wouldn't even be that high. You can still see the pipe. So looks like there's a little crack there on the side. On the right side, right at the connection. Looks like if you go from here, I'm going down, that's where it levels out. Doesn't look like it's causing a problem, but it is about 68 feet out, and I believe it's off the property. So I am going to go ahead and I'll try to mark this spot just as a reference point. But this is not causing an issue right now. It's just something to watch out for, and I believe it's off the property. So if it is, it would be, you could call the sewer department and have them take a look at this for repair if this ever gets any worse. But I'm going to pause the video so I can locate exactly where this is. Okay, so it's like right at the curb, and so this would be on the sewer department if it ever does cause an issue. Like I said, it's so minor. It's probably been there for the life of the pipe. Just has a little bit of crack on the bell from where it's settled, but it's not causing an issue. It's just where the turn is. So this, you've got like a 10-degree pitch, and then where it's flattening out and where they rotated the line inside, that's all that happened. It's not obstructing flow, there's no solids, it's not an issue. So, but I will mention it on the report just as a, just as a note to make sure that it is known about, but it is not causing an issue. It's very, very minor and just something that you find in 100-year-old pipes. And the rest of this line looked wonderful. You can see all the joints look tight, there's no root intrusion. All the pipe is kept shape. Beautiful. Just a hair of roots right there. A little tiny bit of roots that I must have missed on the push out. 13 feet. And that is not causing an issue either, but it is something maybe you want to have it, take a look at it in like, maybe 5 years or something, just to see if there's any root growth, any increased root growth. But right now, that's nothing you can even do anything about. It's just a little tiny bit of finger roots. You do want to obviously pay attention to it in a few years and just check it and see if it's growing, because it may need maintenance in the future, so it will continue to grow. But you could give it 3 to 5 years and take a look at it again and see the root and how fast the roots are growing, and that way you could treat it with either a chemical or have it cleaned. Usually something that minor, a chemical, is plenty to just keep it from causing any future issues. So, ready to pull out the clean out now. So, the only thing we found at all was there was a little tiny bit of roots there at about 13 feet. Not causing an issue. And then at about 67 feet, there was a crack in a very minor crack there in the male end of a connection, and but it's not causing a problem at all. I just wanted to note it, and also that is off the property, so if it ever does become an issue, that would be the sewer department that would, you just want to contact them and have them, come out and take a look and repair that. But right now, there are no issues at time of inspection, as far as there's no any kind of obstructions or structural issues going on that are preventing normal use of the line. So in fact, 98% of that line was about as good as it could possibly look for a 100-year-old pipe. Just really a couple things to maybe look at in 3 to 5 years, mainly just the roots. I believe that that crack at 67 feet will be there for years to come. Um, so right now everything is open and flowing at time of inspection, and so that'll end the inspection at 1410 Woodstock Drive in Oakwood, Ohio.